The story starts with a girl named Asha. She talks about her king, King Magnifico. He built his kingdom on an island, far away from the rest of the world. He lives there with his wife, Queen Amaya. The king has gone through a lot of sadness in his life. To get rid of his sadness, he learned magic and became a powerful magician. Now, King Magnifico has so much power that he can use his magic to make anyone's biggest wish come true. That's why everyone in his kingdom shares their wishes as dreams and waits for the day when King Magnifico will make someone's biggest wish come true. This special day happens only once a month. Because of the king's magic, people from far away would come and live in his kingdom. But there was also a rule. Anyone under 18 years old couldn't give their wishes to King Magnifico. Asha, who is only 17 years old, wants to work with King Magnifico. She has an interview at the palace the next day. She lives at home with her mother, grandfather, and a goat, who is a very good friend of hers. Her grandfather is 100 years old, and King Magnifico still has his wish. Asha hopes that on the next special day, when the king will grant someone's biggest wish, it will be her grandfather's wish because he doesn't have much time left. Her grandfather's wish is with King Magnifico as a magic ball, so her grandfather can't fulfill the wish himself. The next day arrives, and Asha goes to the palace for her interview. Her best friend works there as a chef. When Asha tells her friend about the interview to work with the king, her friend, along with all the other employees who had become Asha's friends, gives her some advice. They tell her how to act in front of the king and advise her to be honest in the interview, even if the king asks about her weaknesses. Afterward, Asha meets Queen Amaya, who is very kind. Queen Amaya speaks to Asha very kindly. The queen has noticed that Asha genuinely wants to help the people of the kingdom. Queen Amaya herself is very caring towards her people. Next, Asha meets King Magnifico. At first, Asha is very nervous and makes a lot of mistakes, but as time passes, she starts to calm down and gains control. The interview begins to go well. King Magnifico even talks to her about her dad, who was always fascinated by the stars. Asha remembered how her dad used to take her to the mountains to show her the stars and tell her that these stars could make wishes come true. The king then takes Asha to his magical room, where all the wishes of the people in the kingdom are kept. There, Asha sees her grandfather's wish. She discovers that her grandfather wants to impress everyone by playing the guitar. When Asha asks King Magnifico to fulfill her grandfather's wish, things start to go wrong. The king tells Asha that her grandfather's wish cannot be granted because it is too dangerous. The king explains that whenever her grandfather plays the guitar, large crowds gather, which could lead to accidents. Standing there, Asha realizes that the king doesn't fulfill everyone's wishes. So, she asks the king to return everyone's wishes so they can fulfill them on their own. Hearing this, King Magnifico becomes furious, but he controls his anger and tells Asha that not all wishes can be granted. The king explains that returning the wishes could be dangerous for his magical power. He tells Asha that people bring him wishes they know they can never achieve on their own. When people give their wishes to Magnifico, a small part of their soul's power also transfers to him. This power boosts the king's magical abilities. Later, King Magnifico grants the wish of one couple, while everyone else's wishes remain with him. After this, the king tells Asha to go home, knowing she has learned the truth about him and no longer wants to work with him. That night, while having dinner with her family, Asha tries to tell them the truth about the king, that he never planned to fulfill their wishes because he used their wishes to increase his own magical powers. But her family doesn't believe her and tells her to leave. In anger, Asha runs to the top of the mountains where her dad used to take her to talk to the stars. Her dad always told her that stars could make wishes come true. There, Asha asks the stars to fulfill her family's wishes. Suddenly, a very bright light appears from the sky, which everyone in the kingdom sees. Even King Magnifico is surprised by this light. The people of the kingdom think it's part of the king's magic, but King Magnifico tells Queen Amaya that it isn't his magic. He realizes there is another magical power in the kingdom, one that could threaten his magic and power. Meanwhile, a light surrounds Asha and suddenly turns into a star. This star begins to perform all kinds of magic, like teaching animals to speak, making plants grow larger, and then it comes and stands in front of Asha. Asha is still shocked by what's happening, so the animals around her, who can now speak, explain that the star used magic on them. They tell her that the star is a magician. However, the star tells Asha that it cannot fulfill people's wishes. Instead, it says, "I have decided to help you, and that's why I have come to you. Fulfilling wishes is something humans must do, but I will help you retrieve your grandfather's wish from King Magnifico's palace." Meanwhile, King Magnifico, feeling threatened by this new magical power in his kingdom, begins preparing for a fight. He searches through his books for a spell to combat this magic, but unfortunately, he finds nothing in his own books to help him. After many failures, King Magnifico decides to take a risky step. He plans to open a book that could destroy everything, including the kingdom. Queen Amaya stops him and reminds him that using this book's magic would destroy the person who wields it. She advises him to focus on the people of the kingdom who love him and to work for their well-being. She assures him that if he does everything right, no evil power will harm him. Meanwhile, Asha hides the star in a bag and brings it to King Magnifico's palace to retrieve her grandfather's wish. However, she faces another challenge. She needs to access the magical room where all the wishes are kept, which is highly secret. For this, she needs the help of her friends who work in the palace. While going to speak with them, she leaves her and the star in the coop. The star reveals its magic again by teaching all the hens to speak. Realizing she has no choice but to reveal the truth, Asha tells her friends about the star. Her friend then shows her a secret door that leads to the king's magical room. Using the secret door, they reach the entrance to the magical room, but find it locked from the inside. The star uses its magic to unlock the door, allowing them to enter. As they quickly search for Asha's grandfather's wish, the star helps them retrieve it, but a fire breaks out as they escape. Meanwhile, King Magnifico is talking to the people of his kingdom. He explains that the bright light everyone has seen in recent days is not his magic. King Magnifico tells his people that the bright light they've seen is not part of his magic. He announces that anyone who tells him about this new magical power will have their wish fulfilled immediately. As King Magnifico prepares to return to his palace, a problem arises because Asha is still inside. To keep him from entering, Asha's friend starts asking the king questions. Other people see this and also begin asking questions, which delays the king's entry into the palace. Frustrated and desperate to find the source of the new magical power, King Magnifico decides to open the dangerous book, despite Queen Amaya's warnings against it. The king's decision to open the dangerous book could destroy not only himself but his entire kingdom. Meanwhile, Asha successfully steals her grandfather's wish from the palace and brings it to him. Her grandfather is overjoyed to receive it. Asha then tells her mother that she will face more dangers to find her mother's wish. She plans to return to the palace to search for it. Before she can say anything else, King Magnifico bursts into her house. He has discovered that the new magical power in his kingdom is connected to Asha. King Magnifico brings Asha's mother's wish with him and crushes it in front of Asha. This act gives the king more power, but it immediately weakens Asha's mother because, as mentioned before, the king absorbs some of the people's soul power along with their wishes to increase his magical abilities. Asha, using her quick thinking, manages to escape with her mother and the rest of her family before King Magnifico can harm them further. She plans to take them far away by boat. However, realizing that the rest of the kingdom's people are also at risk due to King Magnifico's actions, Asha decides to help them. She changes her mind about leaving and returns to the palace to aid the people in danger. Asha enters King Magnifico's palace with the star to stop him. King Magnifico is preparing to perform a major spell, which requires him to sacrifice the wishes of 3 people. Queen Amaya arrives, realizing that her husband has crossed all limits and is performing dangerous magic that could endanger everyone. Before she can intervene, King Magnifico threatens her and sends her away. King Magnifico then gathers all the people of the kingdom at the palace. He tells them that Asha's best friend revealed the truth about her, and as a reward, he will grant her wish. The king makes her his general, with the task of capturing and eliminating Asha and her friends. King Magnifico falsely tells the people that Asha and her friends want to harm their wishes. When Asha tries to explain that she and the star have no intention of hurting anyone and that King Magnifico is the real threat, no one believes her. Queen Amaya arrives and confirms Asha's story to her friends, explaining that King Magnifico has become corrupt with power and is the one hurting people's wishes. She also reveals that the king plans to take control of Asha's magical star. Determined to stop the king, Asha, her friends, and Queen Amaya band together. They have 2 main missions: to return the people's wishes to them and to prevent further harm caused by the king. Asha and her star venture into the jungle to stop King Magnifico's dark magic. The king, eager to capture the star, follows her into the jungle. King Magnifico gets close and puts Asha's life in danger. The star gives her a magical stick for protection. Before Asha can figure out how to use it, the king appears before her. However, he has transformed into the form of Asha's deceitful friend. This friend was actually hired by the king to capture Asha. With the help of the star, the animals in the jungle come to Asha's aid and capture the deceitful friend. Asha seizes the opportunity and races back towards the palace to continue her mission. Queen Amaya, Asha's best friend, and the king's other allies in the palace are working hard to find an antidote to the king's dark magic. They are on the verge of success and have managed to free everyone's wishes. However, King Magnifico returns to claim the wishes, revealing his true, malevolent form to everyone. He admits to the people that he will never fulfill their wishes because their wishes are what give him his magical powers. The king has also imprisoned the magical star in his stick and used it to increase his own powers even further. As things grow increasingly dire, Asha decides to confront King Magnifico at the palace. However, a single magical attack from the king is enough to throw her aside. Realizing she can't defeat the king through combat, Asha starts singing a song. Soon, everyone joins in, and as they sing together, their combined inner powers unite to overcome King Magnifico. With his defeat, his stick breaks, freeing the magical star and returning the people's wishes to them. The king's dark magic leads to his own destruction, and he is imprisoned within his own stick. The people of the kingdom rejoice as they recover their wishes, happiness, and powers. In celebration, they crown Queen Amaya as their new ruler, bringing peace and joy to the kingdom once again. Queen Amaya takes charge of the kingdom and orders that King Magnifico be imprisoned forever due to his evil deeds. The story concludes with everyone having the chance to pursue their own wishes. The boy who had betrayed Asha and informed King Magnifico comes to apologize. Asha's good friend forgives him, and Asha's grandfather performs on his guitar, bringing joy to everyone in the kingdom. Asha's star informs her that it must return to the sky. Although everyone is sad, the star gives Asha a magic wand to help protect her people. The star then ascends to the sky, and its light spreads across the heavens. The story ends with this beautiful scene.